Well, we didn't make it very far into Spain.
After our disappointing mechanical issues, we had a bit of an enforced stay in the city of Bilbao. And I know we're not going to get much sympathy. Let's be honest, it's a pretty nice city to have an enforced stay in. We enjoyed a couple of visits to the Honda dealer on the outskirts of town, and after what was a roller coaster of up and down emotions, we finally got back on our travels. Now, we didn't leave the garage until early afternoon, and we had quite a way to go to where we were staying for the evening. But who could resist having a cheeky little look at the Trans-Euro Trail when it was so close to our route? We just had to hope that it was super easy going and wasn't going to slow us down much.
I didn't think we'd be doing the tech today. There she is. That's surprisingly steep. Jeez.
Keeps on giving, doesn't it?
I mean, we didn't let ourselves in for an easy starting track, did we?
We did not gonna lie.
Now, as always, the camera doesn't show the gradient of the hill that we were climbing, and that, combined with the fact that we're not ace off-road riders, meant that navigating and riding this hill proved a bit tricky. But the warning bells sounded, and I'm pretty certain we missed the track which was there.
Okay, people, there's Steff. She's made it quite a surprisingly long way up a really steep hill.
It was steep, but we made a real meal out of turning that bike around.
Here she is. Here's the trooper. Nice work. Nice work.
Was not an easy.
No.
The mind is such a weird thing. I just watched Steff pop up that rock step, totally happily, but for some reason I psyched myself out and sat there for a good 60 seconds or so before finally getting underway again.
This is nailing it. Absolutely nailed it.
Bless her. That was Steff's encouraging tones in the background. I think she'd picked up on my hesitancy.
As I came round the corner, I just wanted to assess. I mean, looking at the topography, I think we're almost at the top.
Yeah.
A little bit of a climb again. The track seems to stop here, but I'm definitely still on the tet.
Okay.
As we crested the last hill climb, we realised we'd reached the plateau, and it was beautiful. The riding was absolutely stunning, and we got a chance to catch our breath and just enjoy the scenery.
Oh, look at the cows.
Aww.
Nice mud hole. I think the uphills are almost done. I feel we're almost at the peak. Because I'll be honest, I felt for our first ever track, after being a bit lazy in Bilbao, I thought we'd bitten off more than we could chew for a moment.
It was definitely a pretty close run
It
thing.
was. We stopped briefly and I just said to Steff, is it me being a bit gassy? Or was that really difficult? She said, yeah, it was pretty...
It's pretty nails.
difficult. Of course, there is the what goes up must come down.
Well, I was about to say, you were like, oh, at least you've done probably the worst of the uphill. For me, the downhill is not necessarily all that much fun.
Look at this scenery. We think we've got 200 metres to a road. And is it bad if I say happy days? Because we have got a long way to go to where we're staying tonight. But the lure of the Tet was just... it was too much. Oh, hello.
Ooh. Apart from maybe that bit.
It was just me got slightly freaked out. It wasn't difficult. I was just being an idiot.
You're just being a big tart.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And again.
Well, that did look deep, I won't lie.
It was quite deep. Oh.
And she's off.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oopsie. Oops.
Oops.
Oopsie.
You look as though you got a comfy seat. Just remind me what you said about I was being a tart.
Yeah, you weren't being a tart.
I mean, you have landed in a bit of a...
I know, in a pickle, I know. Nice work, Gorge.
Is it out the rut?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Here comes the swamp monster.
Oh, I am so swampy. I could really do with finding a very big puddle.
It started to get pretty comedic now. Steff's bike was stuck in a rut, and I was convinced I could get it through, even though it was a super deep rut. And it just kept getting stuck and kept getting stuck. And in the end, I had to admit defeat, and we laid it down and we yugged and tugged and got it out of its rut and stuck it somewhere more sensible and got on our way again. But that really cost us some time.
We're going to be late arriving where we're going tonight, so we'd better get a move on, right?
Better get a push on.
We've learned our lesson, we'll have a look at it. I think it looks fine. Well, rather than just ride through, I'm gonna paddle it through. Shitty death.
Yeah, that's quite deep. Your engine bars are really cutting through that again. Ooh. Ooh, that's deep. Ooh. Okay.
We're good.
That's a big ledge.
So after our little mudhole encounter, we were off again. A little bit delayed, but still loving the ride.
How you doing back there?
Yeah, all grand.
Okay. Oh. looks like another field gate. It's very picturesque with all the cows.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Look at that.
Wow. Come on then, let's get to the road.
As Steff was about to set off, another problem reared its head. The previous fall had damaged her clutch lever handguard and it was starting to cause problems engaging the clutch. She played around with it a little bit and then decided that it was probably safe enough to ride with, so we set off.
How's my mud situation? Is it spraying off the bike, or is most of the loose stuff
I think most of
already
the loose stuff's
sprayed off?
I think all you're spraying now is cow shit.
So we got about 300 meters further on and my clutch lever is now sticking to the handguard. So unfortunately we have no choice but to get the handguard, kind of bash it out a bit so that my clutch lever stops sticking, because it's not really safe to ride with a sticking clutch lever. So this is it won't do it now, obviously, it'd be absolutely fine, but basically, oh yeah, it's sticking there. Depending on kind of the angle that I bring the clutch lever in, if I bring it up a bit too high, then it sticks there. So somewhere in this shot is my amazing husband who fixes things for me.
Sometimes I mess things up as well,
But
which
usually,
means I have to send it to people who know what they're doing to fix.
So we've gone and bloody fixed it. Fully functioning clutch lever that moves just nicely. So we better push on. We better get there.
Okay, we have now got a long motorway haul. Fingers crossed for no rain. We made it to Lyon. Lovely people. It was a bit of a slog the last 3 hours or so on the motorway, and really worryingly, I've got a sort of a clonking noise coming from my bike. So it's gone 8 o'clock and we're just trying to find a hotel. So we're gonna give that a damn good ignoring for now. But I don't know how long we can ignore it, because it feels to me like something's going again.
After the roller coaster of having mechanical problems, then thinking we'd found a solution, then having further problems, and then finding another solution, and finally getting on the way again, having a really horrible noise reappear on Wonder the Honda was just so demoralising. We'll find out what's going on in the next episode, but let's just say we're not down and out just yet. And a big thanks to people like Bob on the Bike and Wandering Nye, who put up with our really depressing, dull messages and gave us some helpful thoughts. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.